Izuchukwu. I'm a native of Anambra State in Nigeria. I live in Germany and in the United Kingdom. I became qualified as a clinical psychologist in University of Ibadan and University of Jos, Nigeria. That was 1989. Before my exit to UK, I lectured clinical psychology in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Nnewi. I lived in Germany, where I was in private practice as a clinical psychologist, testing mental health cases under the health professions network of the Amnesty International, and then also the German Red Cross. After that, in 2007, I moved to England, where I worked with the British Red Cross, and also had my private practice up till now, under Afropsych Therapy Limited. That is where I'm operating right now. That's it. Mental health is a very vast area. It is vast in the sense that it's so big that sometimes you think whether there's a kind of no proper definition of what is mental health. Just like asking somebody what is the definition of behavior. Mental health is so vast area that it encompasses people's way of life. It gives you a proper meaning of the way you see yourself. The way you see yourself shows your status in mental health. It's the ability to enjoy life. It's the ability to work and understand yourself. Self-understanding, self-management, self-control, self-confidence. These are aspects of mental health. So that is why it makes it so big. On the other hand, mental illness, or so-called, is not the illness. There's nothing like mental illness because the mind is never ill. The mind is it has only disorder. So most of the time we say mental disorders. When somebody is behaving contrary to expectation, you say that this person is mentally abnormal, is mentally disordered. Mental illness comes in when this mental distress is not handled properly and this person becomes ill. That is when the person becomes psychotic, schizophrenic. That's when you need drugs to control certain things before making the person come back again to normal. So mental health denotes ability to understand yourself, ability to control yourself, ability to manage your situation, ability to have self-confidence, ability to have self-esteem. These are the issues concerning mental health. If you don't have the ability for that resilience, to be able to bounce back to situation, you have the stress, you have bad situation, you come back to life, that is mental health. When you have bad situations, you find it hard to come back to normal, then that's the person's, there's a kind of mental disorder. When mental disorder is not properly handled, then this person has mental illness. Thank you very much. Good. The Mental Health First Aid Training Program aims at improving or reassessing the belief-oriented impression of people about mental health in Africa. Our people, because of our tradition of believing in external forces being the cause of our problems, they believe that mental illness or mental health or something has something to do with the intrusion of spirits, demonic possession or something. So when somebody has a need to be understood, to be helped, people give it a very bad impression, very bad meaning that this person has mental disorder or that the person is mentally ill. So this is the kind of impression we want to change by demystifying. We want to make mental health to be understood by everybody, so that this tradition of calling mental illness madness should stop. Madness mean and dangerous. People, everyone, the World Health Organization has said it that 1 out of every 4 people have mental health situation. So mental disorder is a situation for everybody. It has no respect for education. It has no respect for age. It has no respect for whichever situation you find yourself. It is a universal situation. We all try to manage our mental state. If you find it very hard to understand yourself, if you find it very hard to manage yourself, if you find it very hard to have that confidence of yourself in whatever you want to do, in what your plans, then that you can be said to have mental disorder. So mental health is a universal situation. The head of health is mental health. Without mental health, there's no illness, there's no health. Just mental health is like if you remove the map of Africa from Africa. If you remove South Africa from Africa, it simply means there's no meaning, it's meaningless. So is mental health part of health. Yes. With good mental health, people can be able to achieve their purposes in life. That is capacity building. To be able to be creative, to be able to ask yourself the question, who am I? If you cannot ask yourself the question, who am I, then there's a kind of a mental health situation. If somebody has mental illness. So mental health is the ability to understand yourself and to be able to make a creative use of your life. That is the capacity building. Capacity building entails competence in whatever you are doing. Are you a soldier? Are you a police officer? Are you an industrialist? Are you a student? Are you a bishop? Are you a teacher? Whatever you are doing, there is need for capacity building. Capacity building cannot hold without mental health being intact. Mental health is the beginning of capacity building. That is why we take it very, very serious that whoever is talking of capacity building, like what is now in vogue in the state governments, in the federal government, all over Nigeria, all over Africa, capacity building is in vogue, but mental health is number one. There's need. That is why we in Afropsych Therapy Limited has taken it upon ourselves to bring down this issue of mental health first aid into Africa, because without mental health first aid, people remain confused about the real meaning of mental health and mental illness or mental disorders. Good. Community mental health denotes working in the primary care hospitals, because most of the time they are in the villages. They are very closer to the community, whereby people who have mental health problems or kind of depression, whose case are deteriorating into something else, they, instead of going to the major hospitals, they now go to the primary care. They now go to the village level to report. You know, they are the people who are very closer to the people. So this issue of mental health first aid should be made to be popular with the primary health care system, because they are closer to the people. They see people, family violence, they see abuse, drug abuse, they see different cases. So they are very closer to the people and should very much understand the meaning of mental health and mental disorders, because they are the people who can be able to handle cases before they deteriorate into bad situation. So the Afropsych mental health first aid program focuses more on getting the primary health care into focus in order to make this issue of mental health become localized, that everybody, even those in the villages, understand when somebody has distress. When they understand, they can be able to direct, they can be able to offer a little help instead of isolating the person, instead of stigmatizing other human beings, instead of isolating them, instead of labeling them, instead of giving them scorning, instead of laughing at them, instead of fearing them, sometimes even killing them, or putting them out of society, or locking them up in the house. They can be able to offer a little help before professional help is given. This is the main idea in mental health first aid training, for every person to understand the focus, the locus of operation, and make it more universal to the society. Civil servants, for sure, like the road safety corps, like ministry workers, health ministry, the police, on most of these civil servants, they require this mental health first aid training because they are the main workers. They interact with society. They interact with the normal people. They interact so much. They themselves also require proper mental health because they have families. When they are properly healthy, mentally, physically, then they can be able to communicate to the society properly. They can be able to address the system. They can be able to address situations properly. They understand also, even among the co-workers, among the police, there are so many cases of police shooting the civilian, or the civilian killing the police. Or the other day, the civil servant, a doctor jumped into the lagoon. This is depression. That's a severe depression, cases of mental disorders. If we can be able to address these situations properly, then the society will be happier. We save ourselves from much embarrassment, from serious morbidity as a result of mental health problems. Okay, even those in the hospitals suffering, they are sick. Depression, anxiety, panic attacks cause a lot of problems for them that drugs don't even work again. A lot of people take a lot of drugs, but it's not working because mental health cases complicate their medical conditions. These are all neglected because we have not actually given proper attention to the meaning of mental health and mental disorders. That is one of the factors which we in Afropsych decided to bring down. The other parts of the world are now pushing it. That is the meaning of the World Health Organization's efforts between 2013 and 2020, for which Africa has not even started. No country in Africa is yet involved in mental health first aid. Only Nigeria. This thing we are doing now is the first step in Africa, introducing mental health first aid. So we need to take it more serious, so that in the next 5 years, or in the next 4 years, in the next 10 years, mental health will become known, will become a kind of a normal situation, that is no more a case for stigmatization. It's no more a case for labeling, that no person wants to be associated with mental health situation, despite the fact that it is a universal issue, that every person has mental health problem. It depends on how you manage yourself. It depends on how you see yourself. It depends on how you can be able to understand yourself, manage, control, be in control of your life. Be happy when you're supposed to be happy. It's good we mourn people. When somebody dies, we mourn. But when you keep on mourning, somebody who died 4 years ago, you are still mourning today. It simply means there's a problem. Mourning or